Hello YouTubers, it's Daniel Curtin from the LA Crows, the most unlucky player from the top 10 of the 2023 AFL Draft class. That's a question. I will compare him against his fellow peers in the same draft class and analyse his time on the ground for his 4 games that he has played for the Crows. Before I start, it will be greatly appreciated if you can subscribe, like and comment on my channel. Every subscriber will be greatly much appreciated. Alright, let's get this started. Yeah! In the 2023 draft, initially Adelaide's first round pick was pick 11. In order to go up the draft and acquire pick 8, the Crows did live trading with GWS Giants to get this pick. The Crows gave picks 11, 15 and 2024 future second rounder, which is approximately pick 23 in this year's draft, to get picks 8 and 17 from the Giants. The Crows used pick 8 on Dan Curtin. In this draft year, Dan Curtin played 6 waffle games for Claremont, including 2 finals. He was rated so highly that rumours had it that West Coast had offered their future first rounder of the 2024 draft, which is approximately pick 3, but the Giants wanted to use the pick in 2023 and not a future first rounder in the 2024 draft. I will make an analysis of Dan Curtin compared to his fellow peers taken in the top 10 with the games they played, the amount that have been subbed and the percentage subbed. Harley Reid, pick 1, he played 17 games, has not been subbed, so he's been 0% substituted. Pick 2, Bobby Machercha, he's played 13 games, he's been subbed off 1 game or started as a sub, so that's only 7.7%. For pick 3, Jed Walter, who's equivalent to Curtin as a key position player, he's played 12 games, been subbed twice, that's 16% of his games been substituted. Zane Dersma with pick 4 has played 12 games, also been subbed twice and 16% of his game been involved as a sub. The Wizard Watson has played 13 games for the Hawks, 0% subbed. Pick 6, the Bulldogs Sanders, he's played 14 games, he's been involved in subbed twice and his games have been 14% of being substituted. Heather Winslow has played 18 games and has not been subbed. This is an interesting one. Dan Curtin with pick 8. He's only played 4 games. He's been involved in 100% of substitution, either starting as a sub or being subbed off during the game. Ethan Reid, who is a 203cm forward ruckman, he's also played 4 games like Curtin, and he has been subbed 2 times out of his 4 games. In total, he has been involved in being subbed 50% from his 4 games. And pick 10, Essendon's Nate Caddy, who's a forward, he's played 7 games and he has had 0% sub. So from this draft class, Dan Curtin has had the most amount of substitution and he's played the equal less amount of games. Him and Ethan Reid have both played 4 games apiece. So Curtin has had 100% involvement in being either starting as a sub or being subbed off during the game. If I go into details of the 4 games that Curtin has played, he played in round 8, 9, 20 and 21. In round 8 against the Power in the showdown, he started the game, he had 9 disposals, he only had 50% of game time and then he was subbed off during the 3rd quarter. The next game against the Brisbane Lions in round 9, he started the game, he only had 5 disposals, his time on ground was 38% and he was subbed off at half time. Now the numbers get lower. In round 20 against Hawthorn 2 weeks ago, he had 7 disposals, he started as a sub, came on midway through the 3rd quarter. He had only played 25% of the game. Last week, round 21 against Geelong, he came on with the last 6 minutes of the game. His time on ground has only been 6%. And if I sum up all the percentages in terms of time on ground, he's only played 125%. So therefore, from the 4 games, he's only played 1.25. So that's 1 game and a quarter out of the 4 games that he has played. So he's only played 1 game and a quarter from the 4. The Crows play the Western Bulldogs this week. Given that Rankin is available to play this week after serving his 4-week suspension, I'm going to guess and say there's a potential chance that Curtin may get omitted for this game against the Western Bulldogs. I made this video because I was just intrigued to see how many minutes or games that Curtin has played and his involvement. And I can't name any other player who's played 4 games in their career and has been involved in substitute or starting as a sub or substitute during a game. And this is the first I've seen from any player. If you know anyone out there, please feel free to put your comments in the bottom of this YouTube channel and you can advise me if I'm wrong, and there are other players that's played 4 games like Curtin, or their first 4 games, and also been involved in substitution. Now let's compare Dan Curtin to his fellow peers in the same draft class of himself, Jed Walter, Ethan Reid, and Nate Caddy. Dan Curtin, he's played 4 games, been subbed twice, his time on ground average is 31%. Jed Walter, he's played 12 games, average of 66.5% time on ground, and he's only been subbed twice as well. Ethan Reid, he's played 4 games, been subbed twice, but his average time on ground is 55.2%. And Nate Caddy, he's played 7 games, has not been substituted off or started as a sub, and his average time on ground is 75.7%. From the 4 players who are key position players, or in this instance, Ethan Reid, who's a forward ruck, Curtin's average time on ground is 31% from the 4 games, compared to Walter, who had 66.5% as his average, and Nate Caddy, with his average of 75.7%. From my initial question was, is Dan Curtin the most unlucky player from the top 10 of the 2023 AFL Draft class? Looking at all these stats, he is at this stage of his career with players taken before and after him playing more games. However, as a key position player, or key position height of 197 centimeters, because of Curtin's strength of being flexibility playing in midfield and defence, they're still trying to find out in his time in the SANFL where to play him. Initially, he started his SANFL games for the Crows in defence, but before being selected the Hawthorn game, he was playing as a midfielder for a number of games for the Crows, so they're just trying to develop him into a number position. If I compare himself and other fellow Crows key position players that were taken in the draft before him, i.e. Daniel Talia and Phil Davis, in Talia's first year, he played 0 games, and in year 2, he played 9 games. For Phil Davis, in year 1, he played 0 game, and in his second game, he played 15 games. So in 2 years, respectively, Talia played 9 games, Davis played 15, and so far Curtin has played 4. We'll be intrigued to see how many games he plays for the remaining games in 2024 season, and also in year 2025 season. We will have a better idea of whether he's still unlucky at this stage of his career after year 2. Maybe I should make another video at the end of 2025 season comparing Curtin and his fellow peers within the top 10 of the 2023 AFL Draft. There are only 3 games left in the 2024 AFL season. It'll be intriguing to see what happens to Curtin. Does he play this week against the Bulldogs, or will he make way for the inclusion of Isaac Rankin when he returns from suspension? Will Curtin add more games to his tally of 4 for the remaining 3 games of this season? Will be intriguing to see how the outcome goes in the next few weeks. Thank you for watching my video. It would be much appreciated if you can subscribe, comment and like. Every sub will be much appreciated. I hope you enjoy listening or watching my video. Alright, have a good night everyone, or good day, depending what time you watch or listen to this. See ya!